So we thought we would start this series on our Corvair build with a bit of an overview of what we're going to be doing with it. This is a 1961 Chevy Corvair Loadside pickup truck. It's a very rare model. We bought it about 6 or 7 years ago because it was so rare. One of like 2,200 ever built. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the different models of Corvair pickup truck, this model is a Loadside. The Corvair came in two different models, a Loadside and a Ramp Side. The Ramp Side was a much more popular model and probably the ones you've seen around. They had a tailgate on the side of the truck right here that would flip down onto the sidewalk so that you could load into the main cargo area. This was a Load Side, which was nowhere near as popular as the Ramp Side because it was harder to get into the main cargo area. So those are the differences between the two Corvair pickup trucks. This poor girl has had, it's had a really rough life and is in very poor condition. Most of the time that we've owned it, I had wanted to restore it back to 100% original. But it is, this is surface rust, that's not too bad, but it is in very, very poor shape. And it's, to get it back to original, it's really not going to be cost effective for this. As you can see, this one's in very poor condition. Rather than drive myself crazy trying to take it back to perfect and original, we've decided to hot rod this one. We have a couple of 6-liter LS motors to choose from, and I've decided to turn it into a street and strip truck. I'm going to use a turbocharged 6-liter LS motor. If I run about 15 pounds of boost, should give me about 750 horsepower. That should boogie this along really well. What I've got laid out here is that the engine is going to sit here. Front of the motor here up against the firewall. I'm going to make this part of the firewall removable so I can access the front of the motor from inside the cab. The floor will get cut out down the middle here. So we'll have engine, transmission, and rear end and suspension back here. And then cooling system and fuel tank back there as well. It's going to get a 9-inch rear end with a traditional drag racing style 4-link. Polyurethane bushes for street driving, just to smooth the ride out a little bit. I want to be able to just sort of cruise around in it a bit. I'm going to have to fabricate a whole rear chassis section for it to support the different suspension. The engine was originally in the back, it was, the design is not at all suitable to what we're doing. So everything from the cab back, chassis-wise, is going to get custom fabricated. But our first order of business with this girl is doing the body work. There's lots of rust. There's lots of things that need to be fixed up on it. Lots of dents and so forth. So I got some new panels there for the sides. I've done the tailgate already. Yeah. Other than that, big tires in the back, little tires up front. I was going to keep the original fuel tank up front, but I'm starting to end up with a lot of weight forward. So I'm thinking I'm going to put a fuel tank in the back. Also, the radiator and cooling system will be in the back, as well as an intercooler for the turbocharger. It's also going to get a full roll cage. to meet NHRA specs. I'm going to keep the ETs around 10.1, 10.2 is sort of what I'm aiming for, just because of all the extra certifications that are required at 9.99 and quicker, or 10.0 and quicker. So, but I do want to be able to just cruise down to the track and give it a run, and then drive home with it. So, other than that, this is. I'm not going to say it's a budget build, but I am, because it's my own vehicle, it's our own vehicle, I'm going to be cutting some corners. That's not even right. You've got something to say?
I can jump in.
Oh, yeah.
There. It's our own build, and the name of the game on this is to get it out in the public view as quickly as possible. It would be definitely easy to make this a 5 to 7 year, 7 to 10,000 hours restoration, but that's not our objective with this.
Yeah, you nailed it there. I could go really crazy and spend a lot of time on this. It's being done in extra time. I still work full-time building cars for other people, so this is being done in my spare time. So I want to get it done quickly. There's things I want to play with the turbo setup and the fuel injection setup. I've got some suspension ideas I want to experiment with. So it's going to be a bit of a test bed as well. So when it comes to the body work and that, I'm going to do the body work, but it's not going to be restoration, concourse, SEMA quality. It's going to look good and stuff like that, but there's going to be some, it's not going to be a bare metal finish and a micro skim of filler. It's going to get a bit of filler here and there and stuff like that, with the view that the truck is going to get used. The paint's going to get scratched. The engine's going to be in the back here, so I will be climbing over the sides to get in and out of it. So as you can see, I'll be climbing in and out to do a lot of the work. So the sides are bound to get scuffed up and things like that. It's going to be a truck that we can use and drive, as opposed to just a show queen. As much as I really like the show queen stuff, it's going to be usable. So I think that pretty much covers it at this point.